Okay, so I am back again. I know I sent the video about a chalk addiction and being anemic and iron, and I've got a lot of comments and questions. So I just wanted to give you my progress as far as to date, which is June, I think 10th, whatever. Okay, so when I made the video, it was months ago, and what I discovered, well, let's backtrack a little bit. So I sent the video about chalk and being addicted and eating it and how I had this craving, blah, 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 blah. But on top of that, I also had a problem with being very, very tired, very, very drained, lethargic, to the point where it made me miss a lot of work. So finally, I said, okay, I need doctor's care. Chalk is not going to cure this situation. So I went to my primary care physician for a physical, which I knew, he was going to say my iron was low or whatever. So, well, wait, backtrack. Before that, I was so tired and lethargic. I went to an urgent care center. So I told them that, and they were, oh, blah, blah, blah. So they took blood work. Next day, I'm at work. I get a call at work. I didn't answer. I got a voicemail that says, hi, we're calling about your blood work. You're extremely anemic. And if you feel like you're not going to be able to make it, call 911. If you are okay, then go to your nearest emergency room. And of course, I'm like, huh? Why? What? Okay, fine. I'll wait till I get off at work. I get off at 6 o'clock. I go to the emergency room, and I guess, patient registration or whatever, or registrar. I came in. She said, oh, okay, so what are you being seen for? And I said, well, I went to urgent care yesterday, and I had blood work drawn, and someone from that office called me today and said I need to come to emergency. And she said, why? And I said, well, because he said I'm anemic. And she said, okay, so what are your symptoms? And I said, well, I'm extremely tired, I have no energy, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, so what are you here for? I said, ma'am, the office told me to come here. She's like, okay, so let me make sure I got this straight. You're here because you're tired. Okay, if that's what you want to call it, fine. I don't, he told me to come here. Okay, but if you're tired, okay, fine. So I was peeved. But anyway, so they come in the room, they talk to me about X, Y, and Z. At that point, my iron level was 7.8, which a normal iron level should be 13. And she said, well, we'll wait it out and see if I need to transfuse you. See if you need to have a transfusion. Fine, I don't care, okay. I ended up staying the night. I didn't have to have a blood transfusion. After that, I went to my primary care physician, which was in a different state because I just moved into this state. So I went to there. I've had him for years and years and years and years and years. So, okay, so I go and I explain to him. He knows my history. He takes all my, blood work, whatever. I'm there for the weekend. Next day, I get a call and he's like, I can't help you. You need to go see a hematologist, which is basically a blood doctor. Oh, okay. I can't find one here because I live here. So, okay, I come home. I didn't really pay it any attention. Kept going to work, kept taking 5-hour energy drinks. We had an ice machine that was like hospital ice. So I would come to work and I would bring my own styrofoam cups, and it was chipped ice. It was the perfect ice. So at work, I eat cups of ice, like 3 16-ounce cups of ice, chew it. Everybody hated me around me, and I tried it. I'm like, I can't help it. And then when I left, I would take cups with me. Eat it on the way home because I was stuck in traffic, 5 o'clock, stuck in traffic. So when I came home, I relax, shower, do whatever I had to do, and then go and eat chalk. I mean, that was like my whole thing. So I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I can't function at work. I'm falling asleep at work. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So I found a hematologist. I went to the hematologist and they did blood work. We talked, and he said to me, "Boy, you've let your doctors get away with a lot of stuff." I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" He was like, okay, let's go down your blood work." He said, "Your iron level is 7.9. It should be 13. Your ferritin," I think that's what it was called. I don't even know what that was. He said it should be 54, and at that point, it was below 3. He said, "Okay, we are not going to be able to fix this with pills." He said, "You need to have iron infusions. You don't need to have a blood transfusion, but you need iron infusions." Great. I went home. I ate some chalk and ice. Okay. I think it was 2 days later, I had my first iron infusion. They're like, "Oh, we need to see if you're going to be okay." So you sit in a room with people who are having chemotherapy for cancer. And I'm like, "I don't have cancer." So anyway, you're in there with them. You get your iron, then you get your saline or whatever. You sit there, they make sure you're okay. So I had 3 of those. And then I went back to the doctor. My iron had gone up from 7.9 to, I think it was like 11. I'm looking at my papers because I have some here, but I don't think I have all of them. But anyway, it went from 7.9 to 11 something. My ferritin went from negative or less than 3 to 22, which was good, but it needed to be 54. So he said, "Okay, let's have 2 more iron infusions." Great. I don't care. I have my other 2 iron infusions. That was not too long ago. I don't have another appointment until June 26th. So June 26th, I'll get to see what all my levels are. But it was so funny because after the second iron infusion, what is chalk? What is ice? I used to buy the big, huge bags of ice from like the grocery store because ice trays, I'll eat the whole ice tray in 5 minutes. So I buy whole big bags of ice and I'd eat it in one day. I'm like, okay, it's an addiction, but it only cost me $1.99. Thumbs up. Okay. But, okay, I'm being silly, but anyway. Boxes of chalk, what? 25 cents for, I think it was like 24 sticks because the dollar store wouldn't sell them anymore. So anyway, the second infusion, it was like, I didn't think about it. I went to work. I never hit the ice machine. My cup stayed in my car. I was still tired, but the craving was gone. So I'd still pop it was so funny because my birthday, everybody knew me at work. My birthday came along and everybody, instead of, buying a card or cake or whatever, everybody on my team bought me a 5-hour energy drink. I'm like, you know me too well. Thanks, I need it. Let me pop one now. So anyway, I feel great. I've had my infusions. I have not had a craving for any chalk. No ice, no absurd substance. I'm doing really well. You just have to kind of admit that you're not doing well. I mean, cravings and addictions, it's an everyday lifestyle until you realize that this isn't normal. And you have to accept that and get help. I sound like an alcoholic or a drug addict, but I mean, it's all kind of like one and the same. So I'm doing great. I have a couple papers here that I can show you. I don't have everything because I'm so disorganized. But anyway, I have some stuff from beginning to kind of like end. So I can show you some things and, if you guys have any questions, I guess you can ask me as you've been doing. Let's see. The first one is from my very first appointment with my primary care physician, and these were my results. I hope you can see this, because I can't. But anyway, my iron level was 19, where it should have been between 35 and 150. TIBC was 527, which was good, but my transferrin saturation was 4 and should have been between 20 and 55. So as you can tell, my blood levels were extremely low. Primary care. So he says to me, oh, you need to go see a specialist. Okay. I dilly-dallied around, and then finally I found a specialist because I couldn't take it anymore. So this was what? I hope you can see this because I can't. January, I waited till March. March, I come over here and I find a hematologist. And the hematologist says, okay, let's do your blood work. Same thing. Description, anemia, blood. I'm not even going to pronounce that word because I don't know what it is. And then end-test malabsorption. I don't know why, but that's what it was. You know, then we move along and we move over here. Okay, what? I think this was, 320 of 13. 320 of 13. We move along to 430 of 13, and we progressed. I don't know why I have, oh, here we go. HGB was still low. CT was still low too. So we had to get that up. And this was what I was talking about before, my ferritin. That was also in April. I just went May. Ferritin was 22, which before it was less than 3. Should be 55. And that was before my last 2 iron infusions. I hope you can see that. So we will go over here. We have a schedule of appointments, and I've already done, of course, Wednesday, May 15th, which was my visit. Friday, May 17th, chemo room, but wasn't chemo, it was iron infusion. Then again, on May 24th, we had another iron infusion. And then on June 26th, I go back and check my levels again and see if they're where they should be. I think I'm doing good, so I'm not worried. I just wanted to do this because I put the other one out there and I was asking for help and I was confused, didn't know what was going on. I just like eating chalk and ice. So right now I'm doing good, you know, trying to get the bags from being so tired all the time. I mean, sometimes I'll still take my energy slash appetite suppressant, but that half of it ain't working. And then I take my vitamins. GNC recommended these for me. I'm not allowed to take iron supplements right now because they said it throws off the, I guess the reading or whatever. So I'm assuming after July 17th, which is when I get my last blood results, they'll tell me if I need to take iron continuously or if I'm good. But this is the way that he described it. He said it's kind of like a car. Your body's a car and it needs fuel. Okay? If you neglect fuel from that car, it can't go. He said, and iron is like the major source of energy in your body. He said it produces bone marrow, everything. So if you're lacking that, you don't work. He said, and you can put gas in it, and it'll work for a little while, but if you don't continue to gas it up or figure out what the problem is, same thing's going to happen. So, you know, we're doing this. He said, if, you know, it works now, but if in 3 months later, if the same thing is happening, we need another solution. I feel great. I feel absolutely fabulous. I have like 30 boxes of chalk that are just sitting around that I don't have a desire to eat. I have no more ice in the freezer, nothing. So if you're having the same problem, I would suggest go see a hematologist. Get your blood count, get what you need to boost it up because you're only hurting yourself. You know, it's not great to be addicted to anything except life. And, you know, you're addicted to this, you're addicted to that. As far as we're talking about blood, I don't know about anything else. Anyway, get it checked out. I mean, it doesn't take too much time. And he was like, he said, when I came back, he was like, I feel so good. I love to fix people. And I said, I love people who love to fix people and do that. So I'm doing great. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll probably make another video after I get my final blood count or whatever, because I'm all done with my iron infusions. And like I said, I feel great. Whoever is looking at this and has the same problem, do what you have to do, because I know how you feel right now. And right now, I want to feel this way as opposed to that way. So I'm going to leave and go maybe cut the grass. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Bye-bye.